What was arguably the Steelers' most balanced and productive half of football by the offense all season. In the second half, the complete opposite, as the Steelers garnering just 52 yards minus the final drive of the game and watching a 20-17 lead slip into a 7th loss on the year. 2 weeks into the season, and the Pittsburgh Steelers offense with similar questions left unanswered. How they can find consistency as a group and how to get the ball downfield. Two things they once again were unable to do in a 17-14 loss to the Patriots. Postseason was full of down-to-the-wire finishes, and Sunday's Super Bowl no different, as it was a fourth quarter comeback by the Rams offense, and then the defense coming up with the final chapter and a Rams championship victory. After Kenny Pickett left with a concussion late in the first quarter, Mitch Trubisky stepped in and seemed to be the spark that the Steelers offense would need to grab a third consecutive victory. Opening night on the ice for the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Buffalo Sabres, each team getting the start at home. Week 8, a potential region-clinching opportunity existed for one team while the other trying to create a 3-team race and some chaos in the final 2 weeks. Welcome here to TD Bank Park in Bridgewater, New Jersey, as tonight it's a winner-take-all, and you hear it all the time. It's all about opportunity. The Seawolves have another one here tonight. Speaking of opportunities, Ty Madden will be the next Erie Seawolves starter to toe the rubber tonight in this winner-take-all game number 3. But he's been decidedly different in terms of pitching at UPMC Ballpark, which has been the friendly confines for him compared to his now 5 starts on the road, including his 1 start last week against Richmond. In his 4 regular season starts for Ty Madden, he went 2-1, but he had a .468 ERA, and he gave up 10 earned runs over just under 20 innings of work, compared to just 1 earned run when he was pitching at UPMC Park. Nonetheless, he gets the ball tonight. He's been effective for a most part of the season, and his manager and teammates are confident that he can get the job done here tonight.
Great grab by Torkelson at the waist. Charges, fires, got it.
Matt Sabatos' journey to the broadcast booth began with the suggestion of a teacher leading speech and debate club.
He was the one to really notice that I kind of had the gift of gab and that I was more of a loud talker than anything.
In just the opening innings of a young career, the St. Louis native has already made jumps from the gateway to the West to North Carolina and is now in the Gem City, calling dazzling diamond plays at each stop.
Sign that'll get out of play. A ball and 2 strikes now.
But it was a catch by his mother when he was younger that has helped him through his life's biggest curveball.
I started to kind of lag behind socially and just in terms of just general responses to my peers and my age group. My mom was able to pick up on it fairly quickly.
A special education teacher, Mimi Sabatos, guided Matt as he was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome, a form of autism that affects a person's ability to socialize and communicate.
If I would have to go out of my way to interact with people and to initiate conversations, I have a problem doing that.
Sabatos said at times in his life, and even this year, he's been challenged when interacting with others and trying to read certain situations.
I don't want to say crippling fear, but it's left me with a lot of fear that has held me back at points.
Here's the first pitch to Tatum. Fastball, called strike on the inside half.
But despite fear, the support of his mom and so many others has allowed Sabatos to put on the headset and bring the images to life of baseball to the homes of thousands.
Skied high, fairly deep, out to right. Polensky turns, and we've got a tie ball game.
I thank her for that just about every day, and I make sure that I let her know that I'm always thankful for her hard work to make sure that I was never too far behind.
Now Sabatos is taking the stage to call on everyone to help end stigmas surrounding developmental disorders.
If we're just a little bit more patient with them, then we can all put together some really good work, because there's a lot of great talents that can come from this.
He's retired the last 7 he's faced. We're on the bottom of the 4th at UPMC Park.
The George S. DeArmond Ice Arena has the makings of any old-time hockey barn. Ice-cold temperatures, puck-marked glass, but inside stands the makings of history. For nearly 4 decades, one man has been the fixture of one of the most successful high school hockey programs in Pennsylvania. Head coach Jamie Plunkett was born in Toronto, but turned Meadville into his lifelong home.
I had no idea what I was getting myself into. The only thing I'd been told, it was a young group, probably the most talented group, CCYHA. First thing they told me, we had never defeated Cathedral Prep, and that was your #1 objective.
At just 30 years old, Plunkett took over a program and quickly went to work. On a rotary phone, he constructed his first schedule that would be just the beginning of a decades-long dynasty.
Just kind of growing with the kids as the season went on, and I think we went something like 19-3-1, and we were fortunate enough to win the AA state title that first year.
When you thought about how you wanted to be as a head coach, what was that? What did your team look like? What was the style that you wanted to implement for this program?
I wanted to run it like a junior team or a college team. You know, that was my goal. Understanding that you're dealing with a different skill set with the kids, but the practices, the competition, I don't care if it's high school hockey, but I'm going to treat you like you're a junior hockey player. A program thirsting for success suddenly received the leader it needed. I had a great group of kids, and then I think I go back to the first 3 teams I had, and I think they're the ones that laid the foundation for what was to come down the road. And they were all hard-nosed, blue-collar kids. We won the first and third year. We had a disappointing first-round playoff loss my second year. I often think that first group was the ones that really kind of paved the way, and that was the standard that we wanted everybody else to strive for. And in an instant, Meadville and the man that would later become known as the Chief became the perfect match. Parents loved coming down because it just reminded them of an Ontario town. People get behind it. You know, I remember my first year coaching, the basketball team had that run to the state final, lost to Carlisle, and just how the whole community rallied around the kids. And that was really impressive to me. And then, you know, you have a great group of kids, and then they move on, and then you bring in another group and you start all over. Like so many young kids growing up in Canada, hockey was the natural rite of passage for Teo Artichuk.
Always wanted a puck on my stick, so I was always screaming for the puck.
Okay, I'll get you a puck.
For years, a spot on the ice was a moment of peace between mother and son.
You would follow me and we would race with pylons and listen to music, and it was a Mummy Teo time. That was it. There was no else.
However, as the hunger for the puck and to play grew, it was not always the easiest path forward.
I am a proud single parent, and there's a lot of us out there in hockey.
Born in Moncton, New Brunswick, Teo and his mom, Louise, along with sister Zebby, traveled from town to town for the chance to play. But as Teo moved up in level, the rising cost of hockey challenged the family of 3.
How does this go from year to year when the fees are a few thousand, like you're in the city, and then it gets to thousands and then 10,000, like that's without hotels and travel.
Louise said she had to get creative, setting up payment programs, booking discount hotels separate from the team. That on top of working 2 jobs as a teacher and a waitress, just to provide a chance for her children.
She would just push through 2 jobs just to keep the roof over the house and give me food and just supports me through hockey, drives me everywhere.
Despite the obstacles, Louise championed a consistent message.
I told him never be embarrassed. You'd be proud of where you come from, and what journey everybody has is different.
The visual arts teacher did her best not to show signs of strain. Every once in a while, though, Teo could see that his mom needed just a small thank you in life's toughest moments.
Sometimes when I could tell just a little bit, maybe she's not having a good day, I would just give her a hug and just let her know how much she means to me.
Hockey has had its place in the Artichoke story, but 2 important lessons from Louise's dad gave the family a reminder to keep calm in the moments of great adversity.
So I tell my son the worst that someone can say is no, so just keep trying. And the second thing my dad said, just turn on music before and after games, don't talk about hockey.
Loud lyrics of songs have permeated the Artichoke's car after each game to reset and remember each stride along the quest. The latest sound arriving in the form of a phone call from the Erie Otters last spring.
I just froze, and I was oh my God, it's this is actually happening. And my mom was literally just in shock, and she gave me the biggest hug ever, and I was so happy to see that smile on my mom's face.
I think it was the biggest feeling of relief, it was kind of over for us, the brick walls and the barriers were kind of open.
A spot in the OHL, a chance not only for Teo's dream, but for Mom to get the chance to cherish her son's achievements.
In the hustle and early life, I wasn't enjoying the moments, and now we get to do that in a different way because of the struggles we've been through.
If you could write a letter to your mom after all that she did for you, what were the words that you would write on that paper?
It would probably be like how much she showed me that nothing, like literally nothing can get in your way. Like as long as you put your heart and soul and you work for that you can achieve it.
As the Otters forward continues his first season in Erie, the goal remains from the earliest time on the ice. Continue to fight to pay it back.
First career OHL goal
to the woman that has given it all.
The smallest thing I can do for her is just show her what I can do on the ice and try and get to the NHL so I can like pay her back and everything.
The simplest blessing life can give you, the love of a mother and the push to pay it forward. John Lydic, Erie Sports Now.
The NFL announced Monday the launch of the Smart Heart Sports Coalition. It's a collaboration between all North American pro sports leagues and the NCAA and a number of health organizations that have teamed up with Damar Hamlin's Chasing M Foundations after Damar Hamlin's cardiac incident in early January. Now, the coalition is advocating for all 50 states to adopt policies that will prevent fatal outcomes from sudden cardiac arrest among high school students. The coalition is advocating for emergency action plans as well at all athletic venues at high schools, clearly marked AED machines and CPR and AED education for all coaches. Now, the NFL committed $1 million in grants to support nationwide CPR education. Back here locally, McDowell versus Mercyhurst Prep in early season volleyball action. Mercyhurst Prep jumps out to the early lead, the set to Octavian Sperry, who records the kill. Then Aiden Probst for McDowell on the other end. He gets the kill here, and the Trojans take the first set, 25-21. Lakers answer back in the second. Gino Beretta with the kill there. And then Probst had a big night at the net. He records yet another kill. In the return, he had 10 kills on the evening, a lot early on. McDowell gets back to 500 mark on the season with a 4-set win over Mercyhurst Prep. Sabres hosting Montreal, still within reach of that 8th spot in the Eastern Conference. Down a goal in the second, J.J. Peterka ties it at 2. And then later in the second, it's deadline acquisition. Riley Stillman with his first goal of the year comes at a big time for Buffalo's first lead of the night. Midway through the third, it's captain Brendan Gallagher with his 200th career NHL goal. This ties the game at 3. To the shootout we go. Round number 6, Michael Pezzetta, the chance to win it, and the goal and the 6th Sally to cap it all off for the Canadians, who skate away at the extra point tonight, 4-3 in the shootout. The Pittsburgh Penguins enter Monday 3 points ahead of Florida for the final playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. In a fight for a spot in the postseason for the last few weeks, Pittsburgh believes the situations they have faced over the last few games could prepare them to be playing the right brand of hockey should they get into the playoffs.
Your desperation, your urgency is there, and it's been there for a bit now. So, I think it can change on a nightly basis, as you can see. So, our game is something that has to remain consistent, and we've done some good things here the last 4 or 5 games. So, we just got to continue to build.
We've got opportunities in front of us that we have to maximize in order to gain points to solidify a playoff spot. That's our goal first and foremost. And I speak to this a lot. The best way to do that, in my mind, is to make sure that we stay in the moment.
Mike Ribello is entering his 3rd season with the Pittsburgh Pirates. The third base coach for the Bucs spent 2 seasons in Erie as the manager for the Erie Seawolves. Since leaving Erie, a number of prospects under Ribello's tutelage have made their major league debut. He said it's been a pleasure to watch the development of a number of current Tigers MLB stars.
They've all had this dream since they were little kids, and it's really neat to see and participate and help these guys. And at the end of the day, they figure it out on their own. They really do. And I just had really the best seat in the house. And it's fun watching them go on and do big things in this.
Special report. Spectrum just launched Spectrum One, where Spectrum Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and unlimited mobile come together to keep you seamlessly connected wherever you are!
Switch to Spectrum One and get 300 megabit internet for $49.99 a month, plus free advanced Wi-Fi and 1 free line of unlimited mobile with no contract. Call 1-833-743-4999.
The Coopers here just got Spectrum One. Why did you switch? With Spectrum One, we get a super fast, reliable connection. Look, with Spectrum Internet, I can stream Spectrum News.
In the midst of the college basketball offseason, a pair of local schools today made head coaching changes. Gannon announced that after 4 years leading the men's basketball program, Kelvin Jefferson will not return to the Golden Knights. Jefferson just finished a season in which Gannon ended 3-23 with just 3 wins in conference play. Overall, Jefferson led Gannon to a 41-53 mark in his 4 seasons. He took the Golden Knights to the conference tournament twice. Gannon has begun the search for the program's 20th head coach in its history. Less than 15 minutes after Gannon announced its head coaching change, Edinburgh announced that men's head basketball coach Pat Cleary will not return. Cleary leaves Edinburgh after 10 seasons leading the Fighting Scots. Cleary had a 96-144 record in his 10 years with Edinburgh. Cleary took the Fighting Scots to the conference tournament 3 times. He was named the 2017-18 PSAC West Coach of the Year. And the Penn West Edinburgh Athletic Department says that it has already begun its search for the next head coach. On the ice tonight, the Otters on the road for the final time this year, traveling to Guelph. Halfway through the first in the Storm strike, Braden Bowman on the power play pots his 31st of the year for a 1-0 lead. Then just 3 minutes later, it's Zachary Sandu, the trailer, and he rips it in for his 2nd of the year to double the lead for Guelph. Late in the second, another odd man chance, and it's Max Nemestikov coming in for his 36th of the season. Otters blank tonight by a 3-0 final. We head to the Diamond in high school action as Mercyhurst Prep and Meadville in an early season tilt. Bottom 1, runners on the corners, 2 out on a steal. Owen Garvey goes to second, but the ball gets away. Jake Menendo scores 1-0. Menendo to work on the mound in the second. He gets Brighton Anderson on strikes here. And then in the third, runner at second, he gets Brady Walker to end the third, as he had 8 strikeouts on the day. Bottom 3, man on third, Colton Krzyzewski with the chopper. That's good enough to get a run home and a 2-0 lead for the Lakers. Bottom 4, bases are juiced for Mercyhurst Prep, looking to add on, and Rocco Tartaglione with Menendo aboard. The bases loaded, and he gets the strikeout there. Still 2-0. Bottom 5, Tanner Ashton takes off for third. Throw gets away. 3-0 the score. That's what Mercyhurst Prep would win by this afternoon to go to 3-0 on the year. All right, let's head to the college ranks. Gannon baseball opening conference play this afternoon at McConnell Family Stadium against Pitt Johnstown. The first 2 of 4 this weekend. Top 1, 2 on. Evan Beach pops up. Kieran Versaw Barnes gets out of trouble to end the opening half inning. Ben Briggs just as dominant early on the mound for the Mountain Cats. He sits down Reese Colvin for one of 5 strikeouts in a complete game effort. 2 on for Kieran Gagnon. In the second, he singles, and that plates the opening run of the game. A few batters later, Cameron Vosel, he gets a poke to right. Jared Balanin trying to score, but he is thrown out at the dish. So just a 1-run lead. Pitt Johnstown rallies with 3 runs over the final 2 innings to take game 1. 3-2. Gannon rallied for a 6-5 win in 8 innings to split the day. Mercyhurst on the road picked up a sweep at Slippery Rock, taking both games, an 8-1 final in game 1. 5-0 shutout in game number 2. In game 1, 7 starters drove in a run. Luke Jackson, his 3rd home run of the season. In game 2, Chris Ukno with a 2-for-4 effort, including his first triple. Same 2 teams coming up at Mercyhurst tomorrow. On the ice, the Sabres trying to remain alive in the playoff hunt for one of those wild card spots in the East. First period, Tage Thompson, he goes forehand, backhand, his 44th of the year. That's the most since Pat LaFontaine in 1992-93 in a season by a Sabre. 3-1 now. Kevin Ball, the wrister, cuts it to 3-2. In the second, Alex Tuck shows off his skills as he pots this one. First of 2. Sabres hold off the Devils 5-4 the final. And to spring training action, Pirates taking on the Tigers tonight in Lakeland. First inning, Connor Joe at the dish, and he's going to send this one out to left, a 2-run home run. And the Pirates are on the board up too early. To the second inning, and Mark Mathias, new offseason addition. 3-0 Pirates in the RBI single. 7th inning, the Pirates down 2, but Brian Hayes, another home run this spring, ties it at 5. These 2 play to a 6-all tie in 9 innings tonight.